Today we're going to be talking about the newest version of Practice First version 5.2. The biggest change to Practice First 5.2 involves the Transact payment capture system. First, let's go look at a new setting within the patient's insurance records. I've selected a patient, and you can see at the bottom that they have Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm now going to open their insurance plan. You'll notice that along with the previous copay amount and specialty copay amount fields, there's also now a new field for custom copay allowed. By default, this box will not be checked for any insurance plan. To turn it on, simply select the patient's insurance plan and click Edit. Simply check the box beside Custom Copay Allowed and click Save Insurance. Now that I have the Custom Copay Allowed checked, I'm going to make an appointment for John Smith, this patient. Notice on the right-hand side where it says Pending Copay and Charges. We have our primary copay of $20, which of course again came from the Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance plan in the copay amount field. But we also have a new box that says Custom Copay with a text box to the right. This box appears because I checked the Allow Custom Copay option. Again, if that is not checked, and it will not be checked by default, this new Custom Copay field will not appear. But once you have checked that box within the patient's insurance plan, that box will then appear for any appointment. If the patient has a primary or specialty copay, that field will also appear with the Custom Copay. If you leave primary or specialty copay blank and only check Custom Copay Allowed, then only that field will appear. Now, this new Custom Copay field allows you to enter different types of payments for an appointment outside of their standard set copay. So, for example, this patient may normally pay $20 for their copay for the visit, but today they're going to pay a coinsurance instead, and the coinsurance percentage is going to end up totaling, let's say, $60. I can simply click in the Custom Copay field and enter $60. You do not need to enter the decimal with the full dollar amount. You can just enter the dollar amount. If you prefer, you may enter the decimal. When ready, click Generate Statement. On the new statement screen, you'll see both the copay and the custom copay have come over from the previous screen. On the right-hand side, you can see that I'm now charging a total of $80. Now, maybe I only wanted to charge for the custom copay. I don't want to charge for the standard $20 copay. That's fine. If that's what I want to do, on the left-hand side I can uncheck the primary copay. Notice that as soon as I uncheck it, on the right-hand side, the regular copay turns to $60. If I check primary copay again, my payment goes back to $80. I can also uncheck the custom copay if I need to, and the payment becomes $20 on the right-hand side. Again, I'll check it once more, and we're back to $80. You'll notice also that in the middle of the screen it says Amount to Pay, and I have an option of $20 and $60 below. This is my opportunity to change the amount that I'm actually collecting from the patient. Let's say, for example, that they do have a standard $20 copay, but today they're only making a $5 payment towards it. I can change the amount to pay to $5 and click Update Total at the bottom. Notice on the right-hand side now, it says my total payments will be $65. It's important that this amount to pay field equal exactly what the patient is truly paying today. This is the amount of money that MD Everywhere will be told you have collected from the patient. Please make sure that the amount to pay fields have the correct amount that the patient is truly paying on today's visit for their services. In my example, I'm going to pretend that they actually are paying the full $20, so I'll change it back. And now they're paying a grand total of $80 again. When I'm finished saying how much they actually are paying today, I'll click Review Statement and Make Payment. That takes me to the actual patient statement. Now, there's one last step that I have to take. I still have to record how they paid the $80. On the previous screen, I said the amount they paid today was $80, but I haven't yet said if it was cash, check, charge, etc. So on this last screen, I have to enter how they paid. If you forget to complete this step, there are a few visual clues to remind you. Notice first of all on the right-hand side, the big balance remaining area in bright red, telling me I still have a balance of $80. You can see the payment entries say $80. That's telling me that yes, I have collected $80, but the transaction total below it still says 0. The transaction total represents the actual transaction of cash, check, or charge. The payment entry and transaction total should always be the same by the time you're finished putting in your payment. Because these are not the same yet, that means I have not yet finished recording my payments. There's also a clue in the bottom left-hand corner where it says the statement transaction amount does not equal the amount recorded as being paid. In that area, once I have recorded the actual payment of cash, check, and charge, I'll have the actual transaction receipt there, along with a printable receipt, showing that I've completed the payment. That pink message is letting me know that I'm not complete. So at this point, I'm going to click Make Payment on the right-hand side. This is my chance to select either cash, check, or charge, and enter the amount paid. In this case, I'm going to say it's a credit card. I have collected $80. Again, you don't need to enter the decimal, and I can enter a note if I like. I'll click Submit, and my transaction is fully complete at this point. Notice on the right-hand side, the balance says $0. On the left-hand side, where it says Transaction Receipts, I can see my credit card payment of $80. If I'd like to print out a receipt, I can click the blue receipt icon right in the center to get a printable receipt. At this point, I'm truly finished taking my payment. Now I'm going to repeat this process and show you a couple of other new options for Transact. Notice in the upper right-hand corner the little red symbol that currently says 22 with a picture of a piece of paper. This is a new feature letting you know the running total of any outstanding statements currently at your practice. An outstanding statement is a situation where you have created the statement and said that you have collected a certain amount of money, but have not yet told us that last step of whether it was cash, check, or charge. You can see here in my dummy database that I have 22 of those types of statements. If I click on that red button, the system displays for me who those patients are and what amount of money is represented in that statement. I can click on the statement to go resolve the incomplete statement total. For example, I'm going to pick the one from August 25th for Mickey Mouse. You can see that in this situation, I recorded a payment entry of $20. Again, that means I said I did take $20 from the patient. However, I never completed a transaction stating if it was cash, check, or charge. So now I'll click Make Payment and report how the payment was made. We'll say this was a cash payment for $20. And I'll click Submit. Notice that the 22 in the upper right-hand corner instantly changed to 21. Because this statement has now been resolved, that number automatically updated. Let's pretend I was using another appointment. Notice again in the upper right-hand corner, this patient currently has a 21, representing 21 incomplete statements. Now on the right-hand side, we see a primary copay of $20 and a custom copay field that's currently blank. Just because the custom copay field is there does not mean I have to enter something. Maybe they're only paying their primary copay today, and that's fine. If so, I can simply hit Generate Statement, and only the primary copay comes over. Now watch that 21 in the upper right-hand corner. I'm about to say that the amount to pay was $20, and I'm going to click Review Statement and Make Payment. Once I do that, I'll have created a statement, but I will not have yet recorded a payment against it. So I'll click Review Statement and watch the upper right-hand corner, and notice that the 21 becomes 22. If I were to stop here, I'd have an incomplete statement, because again, I've said they paid $20, but I haven't specified how. So let's finish the statement. I'll click Make Payment. We'll say this was a check for $20. We'll say it was check number 123, and we'll click Submit. And again, when I click Submit, watch that 22 in the upper right-hand corner instantly become 21, letting me know that this statement has been completed. This new tool showing you incomplete statements should prevent any user from accidentally incompleting a statement. At the end of each day, you can glance at this list, resolve any statements that may have been unresolved throughout the day. Now, let's look at one more real new appointment. Now again, in this case, we're only going to take the primary copay of $20. We're going to go ahead and click Review Statement and Make Payment. And let's say we needed to enter a cash payment of $20. We click Make Payment, enter 20, and click Submit. Moments later, we realize that that $20 payment is incorrect. It was actually a check payment, not a cash payment. We can still change the payment. To do that, we can either click Refund or Void beside the payment in the transaction receipt area. Now this permission is only turned on for certain users. If you do not have a Refund and Void button, your office manager should. Speak with them about refunding or voiding the payment, and possibly getting the permission turned on if you need it. In this case, I'm going to void the payment by clicking Void, and it gives me an option of entering why I'm voiding the payment. We'll say, wrong payment type, and we'll click Void. The payment has now been voided. I can then click Make Payment again and enter that it was actually a check for $20 and save. The statement is now complete. My balance is $0, the transaction receipt area is clean, and my number in the upper right-hand corner does not represent a new incomplete statement. Let's look at one last example. In this case, I've created the statement, but again, I've not yet made the payment. My balance remaining is $20. I have the big pink message letting me know that my statement transaction amount does not equal the amount being paid. And of course, in the upper right-hand corner, I have an incomplete statement represented by the number 22. What if the patient actually did not pay their copay? Maybe I got to this screen and at that point realized the patient was not going to be able to pay today. It's not too late to fix it. First of all, what if they were just simply paying a different amount? Maybe they're short on cash and ask if they can only pay $10 today. Well, I can click Edit Statement Entries, change the amount they're actually paying today, and click Update Total. Then I could simply hit Review Statement and Make Payment to continue the process. On the other hand, what if they don't have the $20 at all? They ask us to bill it later. It's important that I delete this statement and release these entries. Because remember, otherwise I'm saying I have collected $20 today. I just haven't said if it was cash, check, or charge. But if I stop here, I'm still reporting to MD Everywhere that the patient has already paid their $20. So, since they're not actually paying today, I need to click the red Delete Statement and Release Entries button. You'll be asked, are you sure you want to delete this statement? And of course, in this case, the answer is okay. Now the statement has been deleted. no payment will be reported to MD Everywhere, and the patient can be charged properly after the fact. We hope this new version of Transact is easier and more straightforward to use. If you have any questions, please contact your account executive or the support team at MD Everywhere at support@mdeverywhere.com. We thank you for your time and have a great day.